Good evening, everybody. My name is Mark Krebs. I am a gold qualified consultant with Team Sunset and Team Empire and Team World Explorer and Team Rising Tide. I have been with Archer and Evolution Travel for 18 months now, and I have been a travel agent for 9.5 years. So I've got a lot of experience to draw on for this training, especially the fraud prevention part of it. As I have seen a lot of different ways that scammers have tried to get a hold of me and have tried to put one over on me as a travel agent in the past 9.5 years. But the first thing we're going to talk about today is the 21-day booking procedures that Archer has in place to protect us as agents. So let's get on with it here. Now, why are these procedures important? They are in place to protect you, the agent, from fraudulent bookings. And right now, it is getting close to the holiday time, and people need to be on the lookout for these fraudulent bookings coming across. I will be giving an example of one later on in the presentation that just came across from one of my agents within the last couple of days. And I have spoken with Jose Lambert at the office, and he has said that the office has seen an uptick in fraudulent bookings as well. Now, in the first 6 months of this year, there have been over $150,000 in credit card chargebacks due to fraudulent bookings being taken by agents. So this is really why these procedures are important. If you are ever asked to do a 21-day or less booking, that needs to raise a red flag with you immediately, especially if you do not know the client. Okay, because that is the most common way for a fraudulent booking to occur, is during that 21-day period. People are going to want to try to use that short turnaround time to use a credit card fraudulently, get on a plane, go somewhere, and come back before the credit card holder even notices the fraudulent charges on their card. So if a booking seems too good to be true, it usually is. And I'll tell you guys the example again later on in the training. But if you are ever in doubt about a booking, talk to your mentor, call the office, or consult with another leader on your team about that booking. We are all here to help you. Even if it is not a leader on your team, but one that you have worked with in the past, like myself. And I'll have my contact information on the very last slide of this presentation. You guys can even reach out to me if you have a question and can't get in touch with your mentor or another leader or the office. I'm more than happy to help you guys out through these bookings. And if you have questions, even if you're not on one of my teams. So what is a 21-day booking? When do you have to follow these procedures? So let's say you have someone contact you on the 8th of August, okay? And this is just for an example. And they want to fly out on the 17th or have a package trip start on the 17th. That is considered within the 21-day period. Okay, so it is 21 days from the date of booking to the date of travel. Anything within 3 weeks. Okay, now this only applies to certain vendors, and we'll go over the list of those vendors here in just a moment. But especially if it is a package deal that you would book through Vax and a couple of other vendors, then you have to follow these 21-day booking procedures. Now, if it is a flight-only booking and you're booking it direct through the airlines or Centrav, you do not have to follow these procedures because there are fraud control and fraud prevention policies already in place with the airlines, with Centrav, with the hotels directly, okay? So anytime within a 3-week period, with certain vendors. So this is a slide that Archer Travel provides to us in the Travel Cafe under the 21-day booking procedures. So when in doubt, you can actually reference that slide to see whether or not it is going to qualify under the 21-day booking procedures. If you are booking anything with Apple Vacations, American Airline Vacations, AM Resort Collections, Beds Online, Blue Sky Tours, FunJet, Pleasant Holidays, Ski.com, Southwest Vacations, Travel Impressions, United Vacations, or World Agent Direct, so Delta Vacations, you have to follow the 21-day booking procedures if it is within that 21 days of departure. Okay, that is not negotiable. You must submit a completed credit card authorization form and the booking information to Archer Travel, because they will see that you made a booking within 21 days. Because they automatically get a copy of that, and they will hold that reservation and they will not release it. So if it is within that 21-day window, you must submit this information to Archer Travel. Also, with the credit card authorization form, there must be a physical signature on it. Okay, so it cannot be an electronic signature like on normal credit card authorization forms. Your client has to physically print out that CC auth, sign it physically, and then send a picture of it back to you or scan it and email it back to you. You must also send a copy of the credit card with the CVV2 number blacked out to Archer, and a copy of the driver's license or passport to Archer. All of the information is in the 21-day booking procedures tab on the Travel Cafe. You send all of this information to 21-day bookings at archertravel.com, and they will usually turn it around within the same day. Now, for those of you who are new, this is how to correctly fill out the credit card authorization form. Okay, and I will show you an example of a properly filled out credit card authorization form here in just a moment. You must have your business name, your business address. This is the only time that you have to have your full business address on a form with Archer Travel. Okay, so you must put your home address on this form. Your city, state, and zip code, your telephone number and email address. You will fill out the client's name, your name where it says independent contractor, the guest name, the trip type and supplier name, the confirmation number, and the departure date and the return date. Your client will fill out the remaining information, including the total charge to the credit card, because you would have told your client by this time what the total amount being charged to their card is going to be. Okay. Now we need an actual signature on the form. They can use Adobe Acrobat to sign the form in normal circumstances, but not for 21-day bookings. Okay, that's the way that I understand it from Jose at the office. They have to actually physically sign it with a pen and then send it back to us. You must remind the client that the charge on their credit card will be from the supplier, and make sure to state this separately to prevent chargebacks or reporting their booking charges as fraud. So if you're booking through Apple Vacations, make sure that you are telling your client that the charge will be from Apple Vacations and not Archer Travel or your company. The only time it would ever be from your company is if you're charging them a service fee. It is important to note that travel agents must provide Archer Travel with proper documentation from the client and supplier to be covered, aka the credit card authorization form, the credit card copy, the driver's license or passport. Okay, so you must provide Archer Travel with that information in order to be properly covered under the errors and omissions insurance and to cover yourself for any fraudulent bookings. You, the travel agent, are fully responsible for any chargebacks as well. And if there are any chargebacks, Archer Travel could terminate your agreement with them, your independent contractor agreement with them. So just be aware of that and make sure that you are filling everything out properly to prevent any chargebacks. This is an example of a properly filled out credit card authorization form. So it's got my business information, my business name, my business address, my city, state, and zip, phone number, and email address. I was the client in this case. I was the independent contractor because this was for myself. Even if you're booking travel for yourself, fill out a credit card authorization form to cover yourself just in case your credit card company thinks it's fraud. It was a hotel only package. It was to the Embassy Suites in Troy, Auburn Hills for regionals. The confirmation number, departure date, return date, contact name as it appeared on the credit card, the last 4 digits of the card. Again, for you new agents, you do not put the full credit card number on here. You will have a copy of that. You only put the last 4 digits of the card number on the credit card authorization form. That is for security reasons. The total charge to the credit card, the expiration date, the billing address of the card, city, state, zip, daytime phone number of the client, their email address. And then this is new, so most of our older agents should know this, but this is the new credit card authorization form that was created by Archer last month about travel protection being offered and accepted and how we have to explain the risks of declining coverage to our clients. And then I electronically signed this because it was more than 21 days out. Okay, but if this had been less than 21 days, I would have physically signed this form and scanned it to my agent and emailed it back to them if it hadn't been for myself. So if I had used Katie as my agent, for example, I would have signed this by hand, scanned it, and emailed it back to her if she had asked me to do that under the 21-day procedures. Does that make sense to everyone so far with the 21-day procedures up to this point? Yes, I am going to go into fraud itself, Tracy, here in just a minute. So we are just about to get to it. Okay, so this is still talking about the 21-day procedures, and then we'll get into fraud prevention tips. So you're still going to work the booking. You're still going to qualify your client like we always do. And you're still going to follow those 2 qualifying question sheets that Archer has for us in the Travel Cafe. You're still going to research the trip for your client. You're still going to quote that trip. But before you make the purchase, you're going to see if it's going to be within the 21 days procedures with those mentioned vendors. And again, you can find those on the Travel Cafe under 21-day booking procedures. If it is within the 21 days with the mentioned vendors, then you will email the credit card authorization, the front copy of the credit card with the numbers on it. You just covered the CVV2 number, and then a copy of the driver's license or passport. And then you will email that to 21-day bookings at archertravel.com. Okay. So that is the procedure that you have to follow for 21-day bookings with those mentioned vendors. Now, some fraud prevention tips, and I will take questions on fraud prevention tips. Do not allow a third party to pay for the trip. If the credit card does not match the traveler's name, get that credit card authorization and driver's license. That is one of the number one ways that fraudsters use to purchase trips is with the stolen credit card. That is why we make sure that the credit card matches the traveler's name. Check your client information on the credit card authorization. Make sure that name matches the credit card, the driver's license. Check the phone number, address, and email addresses. You can use a verification service if you want to. You can do reverse address searches if you need to. Okay. Those are just two tips that you can use, and I will go into what to look for in an email that you may receive that could tip you off that it's fraud as well. And this will go for Facebook posts as well. This will go for phone calls that you may get. I mean, this will go through the whole gamut. But the number one thing is to make sure that that credit card matches the traveler's name and matches the driver's license of the credit card holder. And if it doesn't, do not take the booking unless it is from a trustworthy source that you have worked with in the past and that you know personally. So say it's a father purchasing or a mother purchasing a trip for their child on an emergency basis and you know them personally, that would be okay. But if you do not know the person and have never worked with them before, or do not know them personally, don't do it. Because you do not want to have a chargeback put onto your record as a fraudulent booking. If you receive a Facebook inquiry from somebody, okay, they only want to use email. They never want you to call them. Check the time that you received the email from. Because a lot of the times you're going to see a time received and a time sent on your email. You can actually look at that in your settings. Sometimes you'll be able to see the origin of the email if you look at the settings as well. If the booking sounds to be too good to be true, it usually is. They won't fill out the Archer credit card authorization form. That is a very, very good indicator that it is a fraudulent booking. If they are in a hurry to book, that's a sign of a fraudulent booking. They want to travel immediately or tomorrow or the next day. That is a sign of a fraudulent booking because they're trying to pull a fast one on the credit card holder. And that credit card holder does not know that their card is missing or gone yet. So Elisa just said, should the main traveler match the credit card name? So for an example, while I know my main client is the husband, she used her credit card, or are you saying she used his credit card? Elisa?
No, she used hers. Should I have put her name as the main traveler so that it matched?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, because she's going to be the primary traveler. And that's what you're going to do on the commission tracking form as well. If she is the main traveler, because the reservation is going to be put into her name.
I may have to get with you or with Emily on that because I may have done it
Get
wrong.
with me and I can help you with it. I can help you with it after this training.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So here's an example of a fraudulent booking request. And this is one that my agent came across and immediately contacted me about. The bottom portion here under the Dear Sir and Madam is the original email from this potential client. And this is a new wrinkle for those of you who are older agents. Okay, so Carrie, Mike, this is a new wrinkle in the fraudulent booking. Katie, if you guys have a listing on CLIA's website in their Find a Travel Agent listing, watch out for this. Okay, so here is part number one. They found my agent on cruising.org/n/find a travel agent. She has a listing on this website that CLIA puts out to find travel agents for cruises. Number two, they're in Accra. Do a Google search of wherever they're saying they're traveling from. Accra Kotaka International Airport is in Ghana. That is where a lot of these fraudulent bookings are coming out of, is Africa. Number three, read the entire email. We are currently in Accra for the holidays. Makes no sense because this is not the holiday season. Okay. Number four, look at the amount of information that they gave us. Departing Accra, arriving in London Heathrow, the hotel, the exact hotel that they wanted, the exact room type that they wanted, a cab extension. I have no clue what that is. It's something about trucking in England. They wanted insurance. Fine. Preferred airline. No way. British Airways doesn't fly to Ghana. Ethiopian does. The citizenship, maybe, but we couldn't confirm it. Total number of passengers, no problem. Upon receiving the price, I will send a copy of our passports to proceed with the booking. Okay. We responded, my agent and I responded to this within a half an hour. This was our response. And this is what I would suggest you guys do to find out if this is a fraudulent booking that you would receive or not. Always put a research fee on there, because 9 times out of 10, we received this email on the 16th. So 2 days ago. Look at the date that they wanted to depart on, 10/23, so a week. Less than a week out. Okay, so that's red flag number 3. Red flag number 4 was they only wanted to stay a week. Red flag number 5 was when they said they were returning to Accra to catch their flight back home after Christmas. So 5 red flags in the email. Here was our response. We thanked them for reaching out to us. And I had her CC me on this so that they could see that somebody else was going to get this email. We required a $150 research fee up front because of the short turnaround. And this took me, while she was writing out this email, this took me all of 20 minutes to research. to find flights, to find the hotel they wanted, and to price out insurance. We required a 10% service fee on the entire booking, which is my typical service fee on the bookings. And I told my agent that that's what she's going to charge on this one, payable at time of booking, due to the short notice. We told them on a quick analysis it would require an overnight flight. We asked them to advise us how to proceed. As the next step, we would require photos of the first 2 pages of each passport and photos of the front and back of the credit card that they would like to use. And we asked them to respond as soon as possible. It's been 2 days and we haven't heard from this person. It was definitely a fraudulent booking request coming from somebody in Ghana who has decided to use the CLIA.org or the cruising.org website search feature to try to find a gullible travel agent to make this booking happen using a stolen credit card. I reported this to Jose in the office yesterday because he mentioned this during morning briefing on Monday. And he said that there was another agent who had called him over the weekend with a very similar request. And I explained to him that, well, this time they used the CLIA website. And he's like, yeah, that's a new wrinkle for them. So he's going to put a warning out to everybody in the morning briefing today. So this is a fraudulent booking request via email, an example of it. You can get these requests through Facebook. You can get them through text. You can get them through Yelp, through Google. Anywhere that you have your business information out there, guys, you can get these fraudulent booking requests from. So especially right now, you need to be very wary of where you're getting these requests from. Watch out for the signs of these fraudulent booking requests. And if you are ever in doubt, go to your mentor, go to your gold, go to your platinum leaders, call the office and protect yourself. If it seems too good to be true, it usually is. So just some final reminders, guys. It is your responsibility to completely qualify your client properly prior to any booking, not just these 21-day bookings or less. You are responsible as the agent for paying any chargebacks that are issued against a booking that you do, and you could lose your position with Archer and Evolution should there be a chargeback, as there is a zero tolerance policy in place. And again, if you have any questions, make sure to reach out to your mentor, gold or platinum leader, or to the other leaders in your team chats for assistance, and they'll be happy to help you out with any booking that you guys have. We want to make sure that you guys are successful and are doing it properly and ethically and correctly all at the same time. Are there any questions about fraud prevention or about the 21-day booking procedures that I haven't covered that are on you guys' mind right now? And feel free to unmute yourselves too for the questions.
So, Mark.
Yeah, Kelly, go ahead.
So this past weekend, I had a family friend that I was booking a hotel for his 59th wedding anniversary, and he was leaving this past Monday, the 16th.
Mm-hmm.
I'm new at this. He was going to be my very first booking. I was very excited. Went through the whole process. He agreed to everything, went to put in his credit card, and his credit card would not go through. He questioned it. He said he had had the credit card for 30 30 years. It wouldn't go through. So he went upon himself the next morning, Saturday morning, to book it himself, what I had done the whole research for since Tuesday. First of all, I was mad about that. So if any other travel agent can speak on that, I was very mad that he went upon himself to book the same hotel. But had I booked for him, what would, I mean, would Archer responded back to me the same day because he was wanting to book that day.
Okay. How were you trying to book it? Were you trying to book it through Vax or were you booking it direct through the hotel?
I was booking it through Evo Rewards, which is what my mentor told me to do.
You shouldn't have had a problem with it going through. The credit card company may have been seeing that as fraud, and he may have needed to just call his credit card company to say, hey, this is not a fraudulent booking. That may have been the only issue because Evo Rewards is technically a third party.
Okay. Well, he even sent me a picture of his credit card front and back and his driver's license. So
Yep, that's the right procedure there.
I had everything. I don't know why it wouldn't go through. But as far as the 21 days, what would I have done?
You wouldn't have done anything with that.
Okay.
Because
So
it was just those, it's just those vendors that I listed in that slide, in that 21-day booking procedure slide that do not have the strength of the fraud control procedures in place.
Okay.
So Evo Rewards is perfectly fine to use in terms of the 21-day booking procedures.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, what my guess is that it was his credit card company that was denying the booking as a possible fraud control because Evo Rewards is a third party.
Okay. My mentor stated that it could have been the zip code.
It could have very well been that as well. So, it could have been that. I mean, a simple phone call to his credit card company could have remedied that situation and you could have made the booking. Now, just to let you know, Evo Rewards, you do not receive any commission on.
Yes, I had added commission to it.
Okay, perfect. All right, so Harvey asks, do you have many people doing within 21 days? The answer to that personally is no, but a lot of times if they are, it's emergency situations, Harvey. Whereas we're usually doing it, and in those cases, we're usually booking direct through airlines and hotels anyway. We're not using Vax or Apple Vacations because most people are going to be planning those types of trips further in advance. Now, there are some situations that you can use Vax to book those if it's like 2 weeks out. And then you still have to follow the procedures if you need to get a package deal, if it's easier for your client, but it does apply. So it does happen occasionally. Mike just said my first client was legit within 21 days. Their second trip to Spain was also within 21 days. So it does happen. So it can happen, but I don't see it happening too often with my people and my agents. And I don't hear it happening too much on my team. Are there any other questions, guys, that come to mind right now? Yeah, no problem, Harvey. Oh, fun, Carrie. Tracy, I actually use Square when I charge my service fees. because it looks more professional, because it is a credit card processing company. You can use PayPal or Venmo Business to do that as well for safe immediate transfer as well. So that is an option for you as well. So, Harvey, yes, I will have this recording on my YouTube. So it will be on there, and I will post it to the trainers chats for both Rising Tide and Empire for distribution to everybody. Ivan, did you have a question? Oops, I see you're unmuted, but I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Sounds good. Hold on, give me 1 second. Okay, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, the question I have is, I have an family emergency that I had to fly probably in less than 21 days.
Okay.
I had to go through the same process too, or how can I do it this way?
What I would suggest doing is booking direct through the airline. You would
Okay.
not need to use the 21-day booking procedures for that.
Okay. Even in a case of family members that come in to me asking the same thing, that had to a better booking with the airline.
Book it direct with the airline, because book it direct with the airline and book it direct with the hotel instead of doing a package deal through VAX.
Okay.
Because you're going to avoid using the 21-day booking procedure that way, because the airlines and the hotels have their fraud protection policies already in place if you do it that way.
Okay. And is for the near future, there are person who come to me asking for a flight, but is only asking for a one-way flight and to a specific location that is from that country. That is a way to do it, or had to be a one-way trip?
I would be wary. Do you know the person?
Yes, it's family member and myself.
Okay, if it's a family member and it's
Yeah.
yourself, then yes,
Mhm.
that's perfectly fine.
Okay.
If you
Alright.
did not know the person, then I would say be very wary of that booking,
Uh-huh.
because without a round trip ticket, because that is one way that fraudsters use to get back home and to try to avoid being caught in the United States.
Okay. All right. Okay, good to know. Thank you very much, Mark.
Yeah, no problem.
Appreciate it.
Yep. Are there any other
Great training,
questions?
by the way.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. You're welcome.
Are there any other questions tonight, guys?
Will you just put your contact information so I can get with you? I'm trying to even find my commission form. I don't even know where to find it.
There you go. There's my contact information right
Thank
there.
you.
No problem. Just go ahead and click on that Calendly link, or go to my Calendly and set up a meeting with me.
Okay.
My agent meetings are open until 10 o'clock at night, so Central Time. So you can set one up for tonight if you wanted to, or reach out to me on Facebook and we can chat there and then jump on Zoom. But if you guys need to get in touch with me about anything 21-day booking related, or just have questions in general, I'm more than happy to help out any agents, regardless of what team you guys are on. There's my Facebook information. It's facebook.com/mark.krebs1. Feel free to make a screenshot of this slide here so that you guys do have my contact information. My phone number's on there, my email, my YouTube channel for more trainings, and my Calendly link is right here, so you guys can make an appointment with me to meet on Zoom or over the phone if you guys have questions. So, but if there are no other questions, guys, thank you very much for coming on tonight. I really appreciate it. I hope this answered your questions about the 21-day booking procedures and help you guys with some of the fraud prevention practices that need to go into place, especially right now, but really year round, but especially right now due to the holidays. So, but again, I want to thank you guys for spending part of your Wednesday night with me. Thank you very much. And if I don't see you on the beaches of the world, I will definitely be seeing you guys at the bank. Talk to you guys soon.